everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do my November wrap up, and I am going to give you a little preview of all the books that I have not read this month. I think the majority of you know, if you have been following me, you should know that I have been reading this Mao biography. You should know that I am supposed to be reading the 5th volume, the final volume of The Story of the Stone, because I've been reading that all year. And then if you watched my end of the year TBR video, you should know that I had started reading these two books, The Woman in the Purple Skirt, and then Breasts and Eggs, both in the original Japanese version. So you know that I am reading these, and I have the intention of reading these before the end of the year, and yet, sorry to disappoint you, I have not read a single page of a book. Not a single page. November, I read no books. However, before you go away, and you will go away, because I will show you what I have read this month, and that is, I have read 20 volumes of the soccer manga Offsides, out of 29 volumes. So I am going to talk about this. So for all of you guys who were hoping for the other books, you can leave now. I understand. I think 99.5% of the people who were looking forward to this video, especially after 3 weeks of not posting any videos. Yeah, I think the majority of you guys were hoping for the other ones, so feel free to leave. I know no one cares. No one cares. But for the rest of you guys who want to hear me talk about soccer and soccer manga, feel free to stay as I discuss a little bit about this series. So goodbye to the rest of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will definitely see you next week, because I do have a video planned for next week. It is actually going to happen. So come back next week, and I'm really sorry that I have absolutely no content to interest you today. So for the rest of you guys, for the rest of the 0.05% of you guys who might possibly be interested in hearing me talk about this, hi. Hello, thanks for staying. Yeah, so I read this soccer series. Well, I've read volumes 1 through 20, and as I mentioned, there are 29 volumes, so I will be finishing the last 9 volumes probably this week. So almost about a volume, 1 volume a day, almost. But yeah, this is a soccer manga by, and then so it's here's the thing, it's not about, why do I keep saying it? It's from a mangaka who gave their pen name of Horuichi Naoto, but then midway, I think volume 2 or 3, the mangaka reveals that she's actually a woman, and she decides to do the rest of her manga under her actual name. So the series keeps the original male name, but she reveals her real name, and I don't remember what it is. Naoko, maybe, possibly, but it's on Wikipedia. You can look it up. But I am loving this series, but I love soccer manga. It's my passion. It's like my favorite genre of manga to read. I've read so many, and I have so many more left on my TBR to read, and I always look forward to new series coming out. Although, you know, some look more interesting than others. I'm not trying to read every single soccer manga that ever existed, but I like to get a good mix. And so this one really excited me. So you can tell by the art, it's kind of old. I think it started in the early 1990s. Showa 62 nen. So Showa 62. Oh no, that started in 87. So 1987 was when this first came out. So it has the nice, good 80s hair. The 80s art is absolutely fantastic. I love it. But the thing that really sealed the deal, other than the fact that I do really love 80s manga, is the fact that this series is about a goalkeeper. And so far, I've read no series about goalkeepers. Usually you have like forwards or midfield. That's, you know, the goal scorers. Those are, or the playmakers. Those are usually what soccer manga series focus on. So I was so excited because this was the first manga series I was going to read about a goalkeeper. And I do think there is a modern series about a goalkeeper out now, but I haven't read that one and I don't know what the series is. So I would have to look it up and try and find it again. So super excited, and I was really enjoying it. However, what happens? Our character goes from being a goalkeeper to becoming an attacking mid. Which is unfortunate. I mean, it's still fun, it's still good, but like, you know, I was so excited about having a series about a goalkeeper, and of course, he changes positions and becomes, you know, a goal scorer, a playmaker. Our main character becomes an attacking mid, but you know, it's still a really good series. I'm still having fun. This series is definitely soccer heavy, which obviously, I mean, look, I even dressed the part today, you know, I'm wearing one of my soccer tournament t-shirts from, you know, Texas. Which my team lost miserably. Yeah, like I love soccer. I love watching the soccer games, but this is definitely soccer heavy. It's mostly games. There isn't that much character development, or there's not like some tragic backstory from our main character. It's really just like our character, he loves soccer and he just really wants to play soccer, basically. Like and it's all high school level soccer. It's not, he doesn't, there's no so far, but seeing as he's still wearing his high school jersey in the very last volume, I'm guessing that he doesn't go anywhere for now. But yeah, it's just really fun. It's definitely soccer heavy, but there's no absurd, like, you know, fight tricks, which is from I think Whistle had like an absurd you know, soccer story or something like that. But this is kind of more on the realistic side. It's not realistic, obviously, but it's still, because I mean, you have players who only started playing in high school and all of a sudden they're like really good, which, you know, not impossible, but highly improbable, obviously. Usually, you know, to become a really good soccer player, you need to be playing since you were a small child. But in any case, you know, soccer heavy, more on the realistic side. So I'm really enjoying it. But what I also really like is the fact that because this was made in the 80s, I keep getting surprised because it's just like, it keeps showing like old rules that I didn't realize had been changed. So for example, like cleats. Me growing up playing soccer, every time we lined up for the referee, we had to show our cleats to make sure they were the proper cleats. Youth soccer is pretty much use the plastic cleats and nothing else. And just to make sure you have proper soccer cleats and you're not wearing cleats from a different sport. But here there's like mention of like the metal cleats that they're wearing as like high schoolers, which, you know, maybe in Japan, maybe, and maybe back then in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, people were still wearing, or youth soccer players were still wearing metal cleats, but definitely that is no longer the case. Only really professionals wear metal cleats. Maybe college level, I'm not sure, I never played college level. But another like really interesting thing was I noticed like the defenders were doing back passes to the goalkeeper, and I'm like, ooh, no, you can't do that. You can't back pass you can back pass to a goalkeeper, but they can't catch it, they can't hold it, they have to kick it out. Unless it's a back pass to a keeper where it comes off like a shin or something. Like there's nuance to that rule. But yeah, they were just like casually back passing to the goalkeeper, and he was catching the ball, and I'm like, wait a second. So I made me Wikipedia it, and it turns out the back pass rule actually came into effect into 1992, which is probably about the time that the series was like. So like 1992 would be like the middle of the series when it came out, and I don't know if the following volumes will actually mention the back pass rule, or if it will have changed by then, specifically perhaps not in Japan. But yeah, like just like stuff like that, it's like so cool, you know. It's just like, oh yeah, like that's actually a pretty modern rule. I didn't realize. So like, yeah, the whole back pass rule coming into effect not until 1992 due to a really bad, I think it was World War Cup game. Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. So yeah, I'm just really enjoying that, having lots of fun. reading this soccer manga, just loving. The characters are fun. These two, Yakumaru and Shingo, are really funny, like the typical funny characters. And then you have our main character Goro, who's just like, you know, a firm, really good player, like very solid, very strong. Still like, you know, soccer manga, like I don't know. I mean, I didn't grow up in Japan. I don't know what the rule, like the level of soccer they play when they're like young, but like, you know, it's always funny because like they'll be like, this is high school level soccer, and the players get surprised when the opposing team does an offsides trap, and they're like, oh, an offsides trap, like, is that high school level? Oh my goodness. And I'm like, that's like middle school level soccer. Like, if you don't know how to do an offsides trap, and if you've never been like caught by an offsides trap until like high school, then you're pretty much playing really low level soccer. But in any case, it's super fun. Absolutely loving this. I will be reading the rest of this the series probably this week. I'll be finishing it. Yeah, I just love soccer manga. It's so good. It's just so good. It's so much fun. Unfortunately, it's not translated in English because it's like, you know, sports manga other than Slam Dunk, which even that only really, I think it only really was able to get translated because it came out so early in like the manga translation days and whatnot, and you know, but other than that, you know, sports manga are not translated, so there's no, you know, I love this, but I can't really share this passion with people who don't read Japanese, which is unfortunate because it's so much fun, and I really wish, you know, that aspect of the manga world could be spread abroad, because manga is not just, you know, fantasy, sword wielding, magic power wielding, you know, magic girls and things like that. It's not just that. There's really there's like a lot of everyday type manga. There's, you know, there's sports manga, there's business world manga. I actually have, there's like single volume manga that like deal with serious topics. I have one. It's back in the US, so I don't remember the title, and I only read halfway through it for no reason other than the fact that I love to abandon stuff in the middle, for no reason. But like that one is a single volume manga about a man grieving the death of his mother. So there's like really serious stuff, and unfortunately that doesn't get translated into English because obviously the majority of anime fans and manga fans in the West do want to read like the magic stuff. But in any case, yeah, that was a very long video about a manga series, a soccer manga series that only 0.05% of you actually probably watched. But I mean, if you did make it through this video and you want to know what I am reading, I mean, I am reading. I do plan on reading. I know I haven't been reading, but I will be finishing the Mao biography this month. It's just too good not to finish. This is so amazing. So my phone, the phone video randomly cut off for no reason, but what I was saying was basically that like this is way too good not to finish. The only reason I haven't finished it is just because, you know, sometimes that happens. Your mood goes somewhere else, your focus goes somewhere else. It's not an indication of the book itself. This is amazing. I really want to finish it, so I will be finishing that this month. My idea, yes, is to finish volume 5 of The Story of the Stone. I really hope I finish this year, because it would be such a shame that I didn't, if I didn't. So this is definitely the plan for this month. I really hope to do this. And generally, like December, I do tend to shift over to Japanese language, because I always panic at the end of the year and I'm like, oh my goodness, I've read nothing in Japanese this entire year, despite living in Japan. Who am I? This is stupid. I can't believe it. You're just sabotaging yourself, blah blah blah. I get all those ideas in my head, so I do start shifting to Japanese. So hopefully that means, I don't know if I'll finish this one because it's not really burning in my mind right now, but this one I think could happen this month. I would love to finish this one. And something that I haven't told you guys at all yet is that my friend and I, because we just decided like last weekend, we want to read a book together, so we started reading this suspense thriller book called Influence. This is the movie tie-in cover. I have the other cover in the other room. But yeah, not movie, it's being made into a TV series. But yeah, we're reading this together, and I have already started this, but about a little girl who has been kidnapped. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. That's like the direction I'm going in for the end of the year, December, and hopefully all of this will happen. But the soccer manga will happen This will probably happen because I'm reading it with a friend, and then the Mao book will happen. I know the tentative things that I'm not sure. Story of the Stone, like I said, I'd hate to not finish this, but it's still tentative because I haven't even started it. And then the woman in the purple skirt. I mean, I'm not even that far into it, which is why I'm hesitant about it. And then Chichitoran, the breasts and eggs. I am actually halfway through it, but it's been on the back burner for so long. It's like the least fresh in my mind. So this is more, it has more potential to actually like be completed. But anyway, that's where I'm at. Like I said, if you're part of the 0.05% who wanted to listen to me talking about soccer and soccer manga, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, I do have a video already planned for next weekend, so I will see you then. Bye.